Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hello, Judge.
Hi, how are you?
All righty.
Good.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. How are you?
All right.
Good.
Whenever you're ready, Your Honor.
I know. Where's the state?
I saw Mr. Pierre Thomas. There he is.
Good afternoon, Your
There
Honor.
you go. Good afternoon. How are you?
I can't complain.
Good.
And
All right.
Okay.
Got some help. Okay, good. All
Not
right.
showing any PDs as of yet, Judge.
I know. The PD's down there, or are they virtual?
PDs are right next to me, Your Honor.
Oh, they're down there with you.
Yeah.
All right. You kidnapped them and brought them
Yeah,
back with
I'm
you.
holding them hostage right now.
Hold them hostage. Gotcha. Very good. All right. We'll get started then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. The Fulton County Solicitor General has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and consideration of a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. I'll also be providing you with a reset date, and that date is what, Ms. Bridgewater?
It is going to be February the 21st.
Okay. February the 21st. Got that. And I want to also begin by reminding everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So please govern yourselves accordingly. I want to also remind the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to an attorney, and you should know who your attorney is by this time anyway. Also, you have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you at a later date. These are bond hearings, not your trials. All right, so we'll get started. Who do we have first, Sergeant?
This is going to be position number 2, Mr. Hollingsworth.
It says 24 CR 0000667. It's at Marquavius Hollingsworth, charged with safety restraints for children. Pre-trial?
Fifth arrest, he got a hold out of Forsyth. 2020 DUI conviction, 2020 window tint, possession of drug-related objects conviction, 2017 obstruction conviction, probation violation, and a 2016 simple battery conviction.
All right.
Good morning, Judge Heather Tucker on behalf of the state. I'll be handling positions 1 through 5, I believe.
Okay.
The facts of this case include that the defendant was driving with a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old in the front seat, not in a car seat. But in consideration that this is not a it's not a moving violation, and he has another warrant in Monroe County, the state would concede to an SOB jail to release him to that Monroe County hold.
Okay. All right. Mr. Cooper there.
Keith Cook, no objection, Your
I mean Cook, I'm sorry.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I will order a $1,500 signature bond through the jail to be released to his hold in, I'm sorry. Yes, his hold in Forsyth.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, excuse me for saying the wrong, yeah.
I know. I kind of followed you, Miss Tucker. All right. So the release to that hold in Forsyth. And I guess there are no other conditions except for no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Anything else that you need him to do as
Nothing
far as
further from the
conditions?
state.
Okay, nothing. Okay.
Your Honor, what was that bond amount again? I apologize.
1,500.
Is that a SOB or?
Jail.
Yeah, SOB jail.
Thank you.
I think he's being released to his hold, Sergeant.
Okay. You done. Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 7, Ms. McCaskill.
This is 24 CR 000-672 Destiny McCaskill, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
I got 4th arrest on probation for robbery and burglary. 2016 gave us 6 years to serve, 10 years probation. 2013 disorderly conduct conviction.
Yeah, a brief facts of the case is that on February 7, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a battery call at the incident location of 4001 Lakemont Drive, apartment 5C in College Park here in Fulton County, Georgia. The victim advised that the defendant threw clothes all over the house and took her cell phone. Or took his cell phone, I'm sorry. The victim also stated the defendant scratched and bit him. The officer was able to observe a fresh wound to the victim's right side of his temple, scratches on his right forearm, and a bite mark to his left arm. Both the defendant and the victim live at the location and are boyfriend and girlfriend. I just want to point out that the state has chosen to NOD the charge that was waged against the victim in this case. So I don't believe that we can sound for the victim as they might be in custody currently, but the name is Elijah, Elijah Kier, Kier. Just want to point out that 2016 was an armed robbery that was reduced to robbery, to which she was to serve 10 years on probation, to which she would still be in violation of that, but in 6 years in custody. But the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, a no contact with the victim in this case, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right.
Yeah.
PD Umberger, yes.
My client is 28 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong screen. I apologize. Go ahead, Miss McLeod. I'm used to seeing you down there.
Today I am, Your Honor. It's unusual for me to be here also.
Uh-huh.
Hanging out with Officer Norris.
Oh, I understand. We'll blame it on someone else.
So,
All right, go ahead.
so we are unopposed to this signature bond, Your Honor. She does have a minor child, a 2-year-old, that she tells me, and she is gainfully employed.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, she's going to need at least a one-time police escort to go back to the location to get her belongings.
All right, I will order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. And I don't know, pretrial, am I supposed to say level 1 anymore or no levels?
I mean, what's the levels? You're already on probation, so it probably ain't gonna matter. Whatever you said.
Nah, it won't matter. All right. It doesn't matter then because she is on probation, but I guess a level 1 for completion of that. I'm going to order her to take the 1-day anger awareness course. And I will give a one-time police escort back to that location to get her personal belongings. And remember, Ms. Caskill, you cannot go back without a police escort.
Your Honor, she really doesn't have anywhere else to live, but I understand if the court says no further contact. She would, of course, prefer no further violent contact, but
Well, it sounded a little more serious. I'm going to do no further contact at this time. I'm going to also order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today.
Yes, you are free to go. Uh-huh.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 6. It's Christine Luthold.
Okay. This is 24 CR 0000671. Christine Luthold, 1 count of simple battery, pretrial.
I got first arrest.
Okay.
Your Honor, extremely brief facts of the case is that the defendant forcefully grabbed the victim's arm while the victim was trying to walk away from a confrontation about parking. The victim in this case is Diane Simon, DIANESIMON. We were unfortunately not able to get in contact with the victim. If we could sign for them in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. But the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the jail, given the limited criminal history and the nature of the crime, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a no contact with the victim.
Okay. All right.
And if you could sign from Miss Simon, I guess.
Is it Simon?
I think it's Simon. I kept saying Simon, but I think it's Simon.
All right. Is it Diane? Diane Simon or Simon? Anyone on Zoom by that name? All right. Go ahead, PD Atai.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 65 years old. As you heard, she has absolutely no criminal history. She's never been arrested or in any situation like this. She's a graduate of Georgetown University. She was visiting Georgia for a conference which she was sponsoring. She's here working as a filmmaker, producing a documentary about homelessness. And of course, we have no objection to the signature bond through the jail. She does firmly deny the allegations and states that she simply made contact like with maybe 1 or 2 fingers as she was speaking, having a conversation with the parking attendant. So a signature on bond through the jail, the arrest should have never taken place.
All right. And so she's a resident of what state?
She's a resident of California.
All right. I will order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And with that signature bond through the jail, there'll be no guns, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons while on bond. I'm going to order no further contact. Now, let me ask this with this Diane Simmons at this parking garage. Is this somewhere that she can obviously have a different place to park, or she won't be going back? Because I may just go ahead and order a stay away from there. But I'm not for sure.
You can speak.
Can I take my list?
No.
Okay, the location that she is at is not, she's not at one only location. So I may, but it's the location, it's one of 4 locations that this conference is taking place at. May I say something further? I also want to say that, it says I grabbed her. I used 2, perhaps 3 fingers to touch her right here on her jacket so that I could speak, because she wasn't allowing me to clarify what the other parking attendant had said. I did not use my thumb. I know I did not, because I wouldn't. And when she commented on my touching her, I said, if you want to touch me too, but please do. She didn't, but I was extremely respectful. I was trying to get clarification because the other parking attendant who was in charge of that area, she had told me that I could park where I was going to park, because it was just very briefly to go in and get.
I hate to cut you off. This is not your trial, and this
Okay.
is not particularly your time to explain your
Okay.
actions.
I've never been in this situation, so I'm sorry.
Right. You will have other court dates to be able to do that. What I'm making sure of at this point is that you will return to court and you won't miss any of your court dates so that you don't get an arrest warrant put out for you. And that I feel that you're low risk with that and that you will return, even if you go back to California. And so that's what I'm here to make sure of, okay? And you keep in touch with your attorney so that she will inform you as well about other court dates. But I'm giving you a signature bond to sign yourself out of the jail for $2,500. I'm going to, and that's why I ask if this is, who do we know what that is parking? Is this the Lanier or this is who that has?
It's a private, it's a SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. And it's part of their, I'm here for their television festival.
So that's what I was really getting to. So you're still there. So is there somewhere else that you can park? Because I want you to stay away from this victim. And I was going to say have no further contact with this victim, but stay away from the parking garage. Because I don't want you to go and encounter her and then something else happens.
Absolutely, I wouldn't want to either. She is not, to my knowledge, she's not stationed in any one particular place. So I'm not sure how I would, she could be indoors or outdoors. I'm not sure, but I obviously would not want to have any contact with her and frankly, any of the other security people because it might be her.
Right. Can you park somewhere close by and then go there and not park at the garage that's right there at SCAD or attached to the SCAD building?
I can do that.
Okay, let me do that and just, for your own safety as well.
Your Honor, because I'm dealing with this situation on these bond orders with a victim, if we could just make sure the location is not SCAD, because unfortunately, if that parking garage that you put the stairway is connected to SCAD, officer that misinterprets the situation could unfortunately arrest her. And so the state doesn't necessarily want the stairway. We think that the no contact is sufficient. If she goes to a parking garage, she sees her, it's her responsibility to go to a separate parking garage. I think the no contact covers that. The stairway may impose her from staying away from where she needs to go for work, unfortunately.
Right, maybe too restrictive. Okay, thank you, State. So I'm just going to say no further contact with this Diane Simon. I'm not going to put any other restrictions on you besides no drugs, guns, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. So if you see her, and these bond orders talk about a 200 feet distance between you, 2 football fields. I don't know if you can even see that far to know if you see her, but certainly if you are, in the area where you think she may be, or if you pull in and she's working, honestly, see if you can pull out or pull back around and not park there and park somewhere else, because we're trying to make sure that you can, still perform your job and still work, okay? But we want you to be cognizant of the fact that you should be 200 yards away from her. All right? That will be it.
So who's next?
Oh, it's over.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Next is going to be position number 3, Mr. Key Michael Jackson. Sorry about that, Mr. Howard.
I know. We all have a supervisor on Zoom by the name of who.
Yeah.
All right, this is position 3, which is it Key Michael Jackson, 24 CR 000668, 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial?
I got 8 total. 2023 giving false name. 2023 entering auto. 2023 theft of services conviction. 2023 violation of family violence order. 2022 affray conviction.
All right, State.
Yes, Judge. In this case, we'd be recommending a $2,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with the victim, Kenia Caudell, That's KENIACAUDLE, and to stay away from the incident location at 1128 Fair, Fair Street in Atlanta. The facts of this case allege that while the victim and the defendant were fighting over some items and whether or not the defendant could take those items from the apartment, the fight became physical only with the defendant punching the victim once in the stomach and once in the face, leaving her with a visible wound to her lip. The victim's aunt was there and saw it and confirmed to the officer that he saw the defendant strike her in the face. They do live together and have children together. And we weren't able to get in contact with the victim. We did speak with the aunt who said she didn't intend on participating, but we don't know the wishes of the victim. Additionally, based on his history, he's got 8 total cycles just from 2022. So I believe the risk of reoffending while out on bond is high, as well as that violating family violence order is concerning. He does have an affray conviction, which is a little violent. And so for those reasons, we're asking for that $2,500 good bond with the no further contact and stay away conditions.
Okay.
Yes, Your
Judy,
Honor.
Mhm.
Yeah, my client is only 18 years old. He is currently residentially challenged. He does not have a place to live. I would say that he has very little violent history. And some of, he's 18. So I would say all of it is from when he was very young. He is pursuing his GED right now. He states that he's missing class today. Of course, he's homeless. He doesn't have any resources. A $2,500 or any surety bond is like no bond at all for him. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He actually had an appointment today for a housing assessment, which he missed. So he is.
At 4 o'clock.
Well, you're going to miss it. So he's missed that housing assessment. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He's pursuing his GED. He's trying to find housing for himself. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, level 1, and he's fine with the stay away and no further contact. Nothing further.
What was the, I don't know, ASG Tucker, maybe you'd answer, what was the relationship with him and the victim?
Yes, I have that they live together and they do have children together, but the children were not present.
They don't have
Okay.
children together, Your Honor.
That's cow.
Don't say anything else.
You don't?
They do not have together.
None together. She may have children then. I am concerned, that, he's 18. Did you tell me whether or not he was working?
He's looking for a job right now, and he is taking GED classes as well, and trying to find housing.
So then that makes me assume he was living with the victim then? And now that this has happened, he's not?
Temporarily, he really would just stay with her on and off, but he wasn't living together.
Okay. So is he going to be 19 this month?
Yes.
Well, I don't like the history. Because the history signifies to me he may have some issues, and I have some concerns with those charges, which are very relevant to the charge that we have before us today.
Your Honor, I will state that he does have some MH issues that he is taking medication for.
We'd be able to keep up with him for him to return to court.
Yes, absolutely. He understands his obligation to return to court.
Right, I'm going to make this a $3,500 signature bond through. I want to put him on pretrial for them to keep up with him.
Well,
Does he have
he
a
got-
phone?
so he
with
18 with 8 arrests? I missed the 18 part.
I know, right? Yeah.
And she said he don't have anywhere to live. It's-
Sounds very risky to me.
I'm gonna mail that.
He does have, I mean, he has family in Georgia. His
Oh, my
mom
God.
lives in Douglasville and he can stay with her.
Did they ask her?
All my,
Does he need a cosigner? I didn't see that he needs. but-
He'll be 19 next week.
Okay, he also got 8 total arrests by 18. That's an interesting life so far. Yeah, you can order a cosign. Somebody can come cosign for him. I mean, unless you give him through the jail.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, I want a cosign. I mean,
Right. So can this aunt cosign for him?
Is it your mom?
The aunt was the victim's aunt.
Oh, so we can't do that. She was the victim. Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
my mom.
Otherwise, I'll just flip around and get him a surety bond.
what's the amount?
Oh, I can find a cosigner for him, Your Honor, but I just need some time.
I was doing 3,500. I'm gonna do 3,500 signature bond through pretrial, and he has to have a cosigner.
Well, who gonna cosign?
He's got other relatives here, she said. I guess if he
Tell us
doesn't get
something.
one, he can come back on the SAP calendar. 'Cause I
Okay.
think we had one like that before. They weren't able to get a cosigner, so they kept him and brought him back to SAP.
ALIS.
It looks like he's giving her some information on someone.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Can you hear me? Yes, the mother's name is the cosigner is Alicia, ALISHIA
Johnson.
Johnson, JOHNSON.
And this is the
Okay.
mother.
That's his mother. Mhm.
Let me get level 2 on this. It
Okay.
really need to be 3, to be honest.
Let's do level 3.
Let your client know if he violates, he's going back to jail. So,
Yep, level 3.
3,500.
Yes, 3,500. And I'm gonna make him take the 1-day anger awareness course. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond.
I have 2 6.
And I guess ASG Tucker, did you ask for a stay away?
Yes.
Okay.
She just got no parents on.
She doesn't have to come.
She had.
PD a tie. There's a stay away from the aunt's location and no further contact with her.
Yes,
Okay, so make sure he understands that.
yes, we spoke about that.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you, Your
Uh-huh.
Honor.
Yeah, thank you.
Next one is gonna be position number 9, Mr. Edward Morris.
That's This is 24 CR 000673. Edward Morris, charged of 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
4 total. 2022 battery DV dismissed. 2022 suspended license. 2014 theft of services, possession of marijuana. That's all.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on February 7th, 2024, the officer responded to the incident location, which is listed as 1829 Campbellton Road, Atlanta, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a domestic dispute. The victim advised that on, looks like February 5th, her child's father, who is the defendant, was downstairs on the phone having a verbal altercation with his uncle. I guess he was still upset because by that time he went back upstairs, demanded that everyone leave the room. that the victim was in. And once the kids exited, he proceeded to pulling her hair. And once she attempted to exit, he then punched her in the face multiple times. The victim sustained a black eye to her left eye and a swollen nose from the altercation. She also stated that she reported the incident on the actual day. However, the officers could not find her apartment. Unfortunately, our officers have not been able to get in contact with the victim, who is listed as Maya, Maya, Wu, W-U. However, the recommendation from the state is, given the nature of the charge and the history, a $1,500 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim in this case. If we could sign for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Stay away from that incident location and the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right. PD Atai?
Oh, actually, this is,
I'm sorry, PD Kim.
how are you, Your Honor? Actually, my client, Mr. Morris, he's 27 years old, and they live together, and she is a mother of his 3 children, Your Honor. Their both name is on the list, and he has been working as a janitorial worker. However, he may have lost his job because of this arrest. So he's qualified for public defender services. And Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial. He has no funds to pay for the bond, and he really has to find a job so that way he can pay for his children who are very minor. And all these, battery charge was dismissed. There was no conviction. We would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial.
And we just point out that the incident date was yesterday. Not sufficient enough cool-off time for the matter.
That's why we are not asking for no for the contact. No for the violent contact, Your Honor. No objection to no for the contact and stay away, as long as he can get out of the jail without bond.
And that 2022 battery DV was dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know if it was the same victim or not? Because it's kind of close in time. I guess we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, unfortunately.
I will give a $1,500 surety bond. And with that surety bond, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the victim. And if visitation is allowed between the children, that should be facilitated by a third party so that there's no contact between them. And if a third party can't facilitate it, then there won't be any visitation. I think I said no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Your Honor, can he possibly get a $1,500 signature on bond through pretrial service level 4? And as long as he also did one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to retrieve his personal belongings. He has no funds right now, please.
I know pretrials gonna be mad at me.
Level,
Plan on changing your mind?
No,
And
I don't
Kim,
think
stop asking for
pretrial
level
want-
4. Level 4 is intense supervision. That's the highest level. Nobody in misdemeanor will be on ISP.
okay,
Yeah.
but 3 is fine, Your Honor.
Well, he just had a case, and unfortunately we can't see who the victim is, and I'd be hard pressed to think that it's someone else, especially if he has 3 children with her. So he's been with her for a minute, and I have a feeling that 2022 case might be her.
Was it Fulton County? Brandon?
Let me double check. Yes, it was Fulton County.
You see the warrant?
I don't see the warrant, unfortunately.
Are you able to see it?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to see it with the cyber attack, but I can try my best means of ascertaining it, I guess.
If you go get it the way I think, you might get in trouble. I think you're not supposed to do it that way. they're wanting people to not sign on.
But Your Honor, I think that the bond is currently set is more than reasonable.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there, PD Kim, 1,500 surety.
But one-time law enforcement officer escort visit, Your Honor.
Kim, I tried to help you.
I will allow one-time law enforcement escort.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
It's the same bond? Your Honor, it's the same bond, 1,500 good bond?
1,500 good. Yes, I'm sorry, Sergeant.
Thank you.
1,500 good.
Next, we're gonna go to Mr. Leonard Watson, position number 12.
Hello, good afternoon. Bless.
This is 24 CR 0000676. Leonard Watson, one charge, one count of public drunk, second count willful obstruction. The law enforcement officer, third count is criminal trespass. Pre-trial.
43. On probation, felony obstruction. November 2019, they gave him 4 years, 6 months probation. 2023 battery, 2023 trespass, 2021 probation, 2020 criminal damage to property, burglary, 2019 probation, 2018 disorderly conduct, obstruction, conviction, 2018 trespass, conviction, 2018 shop business, NOLO, 2018 disorderly conduct, conviction, 2017 same thing. I stopped there.
Okay.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on February 7, 2024, the defendant was in front of the entrance of the Ashby MARTA station located at 65 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia. He was aggressively yelling profane and extremely vulgar language at patrons. The defendant also was observed using homophobic slurs to an innocent bystander and threatening him. Also, the defendant was observed drinking a beer in front of the station. The defendant had a strong odor of alcohol on his person, bloodshot eyes, and unstable balance. At the time that he was approached by officers, the defendant tensioned his arms, pulled away, and flailed his arms while being placed into custody, and also ignored all commands that were given to him to leave the property. The defendant had already had an active criminal trespass warning or suspension, better yet, from MARTA that he looks like he got on December 17, 2023, that went into effect on January 13, 2024. Your Honor, I think the 43 cycles speak for themselves. The fact that he was on probation speaks for themselves, the multiple recent arrests. And so given the nature of the charges, the state will be requesting a $500 surety bond on each charge for a total of $1,500. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a stay away from the MARTA station.
All right. PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Watson is 49 years old and he has been homeless for the last whole year, Your Honor. He has not had a job. He couldn't get a job for 1 year. And because of the injury that he had, somebody was actually robbing him. He lost his purse and he had injury on his head. So he was very half unconscious at the time. He said that it was because of the medicine that was trying to kill his pain on his head injury, caused a little bit of overdose effect. And we would like to request for signature on bond through free trial, Your Honor. And he has no bonds to pay for any kind of bond at this point, and he also wants to be accepted to PAG if it is possible, so he can get help to reestablish his life together. He is okay to stay away from MARTA. He does not have to use it. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Well, he already has that, and he needs to definitely stay away from MARTA. I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond, $500 on each of the charges. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I've already said to stay away from the MARTA station. That's the one there on Ashby. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I was
Alright.
assuming they were saying actually complying to model suspension, so he can return back after the model suspension is over.
You're actually, Your Honor, I would prefer that it says it is a brand new stay away. I think the suspension would end in March, according to the warrant. And so I
Mhm.
think that he needs additional time.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So it's gonna be the stay away starting now, not through when the other one ended. The other one ended January 24th.
March 13, 2024.
I think we need him to stay away a little bit longer, make sure the patrons are safe. So while he's on bond, he's to stay away from MARTA, which could last longer than March.
Yeah, I can and I will.
Okay, great. All right, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Your Honor, is that just the Ashby Street or all MARTA?
We did just the Ashby Street for
Okay.
now.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Come on, Watson. Thank you, God bless.
We're gonna go to position number 13, Mr. Kenneth Wilson.
This is 24 CR 000677. Kenneth Wilson charged at 1 count of battery family violence. Retrial?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
21 total.
How many?
21.
Oh.
2023 suspended registration, 2016 FTA probation, 2015 probation, 2015 possession of marijuana conviction, 2013 criminal damage to property given false name conviction. Then you got a hold out of Lawrenceville for contempt of court.
Got a brief facts of the case is that on I think this may be February 6, 2024, the officer was dispatched to the incident location, which is 1295 Norman Berry Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a physical altercation. The victim, Deetra Barnum, Detrabarnum, stated that her boyfriend, the defendant, engaged in a verbal altercation with her about infidelity issues, and the defendant told her to shut her mouth. The victim stated that the argument continued until the defendant wrapped both of his hands around her neck and began to choke her until she passed out. A third party, Mr. Gregory White, stated that he heard the defendant yelling at the victim to say, "Shut up, bitch." The officer examined the victim and observed several bruise marks around her neck, which appeared to be extremely fresh. Your Honor, if we could sound for the victim after the state's request in accordance with Marcy's letter, that we greatly appreciate it. It is because our office has not been able to get in contact with her. Your Honor, our position is that this is eerily similar to a aggravated assault strangulation, and I think once we get in contact with the victim, we will be seeking to upgrade it to such. The recommendation from the state in this case is a $5,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and the completion of a family violence intervention program.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, I did not have a chance to talk to Ms. Detrabarnum. However, the warrant does not state anything about actually passing out. So she was not passed out, Your Honor. He is 64 years old, retired engineer of HVAC. He does have a certification of completion from Atlanta area tech. And he's been here in Georgia ever since 1974. And he has been going through a lot. He is supporting his mother, who is 84 years old. And he just lost his younger brother about a year ago. However, he denies the allegation, and we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial. The Gwinnett County hold is for a traffic offense, and I believe his history shows that there was no violence actually in the history, and he does have evidence to prove that whole thing in the phone that it was actually videotaped. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through pre-trial letter 1. And
Your
no,
Honor, if I could just reiterate that the warrant states that he choked her so hard that she passed out. Not that she was going to pass out or that she felt like she was going to pass out. She actually passed out.
Okay.
almost,
I'm sorry.
that's her expression. She didn't actually pass out. She said almost. And besides, Your Honor, he has evidence to prove that this is not true.
And you stated that he was retired.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will give it a $4,000 surety bond. And with that surety bond, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond. Stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the victim. And let's see, I think that's it. Did I leave out anything?
Your Honor, the place is actually in his name, so he would like to evict her, and then hopefully, he can go to his house with a law enforcement officer to verify that she does not reside there, and then he would like to return home.
And she told him she was moving out?
Yes. That's why he has no objection to have no contact with her.
Did you say he would like to evict her?
That's the only way that he can go back to his house. So he can evict her.
It's the house.
That's his house.
It's in my name. I asked her to move nothing. I didn't put my hands on her or nothing.
That's okay. I'm
Okay.
going to leave it at the 4,000 surety. And to stay away from that location and no further contact with the victim.
Can he have a one-time law enforcement officer escort visit, Your Honor?
He has things there, but becoming more reluctant on those these days. But I'll do that in this instance, one-time law enforcement escort to return to the property. If you return there without an escort, remember you'll be arrested. But if you arrange it with the law enforcement, they can schedule it at a time and you all get back over. Oh, you can go back over there to get your items. And that should be it. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Yes,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we go. Yeah. Yeah, you can look, folks, them on here. Your Honor, position number 1 was a purge. Purge was paid.
Okay.
All right. Position number 4.
You know what that amount was?
Well, the amount was, Howard, why you trying to?
It's not on the booking card?
It was how much? It was $100, Mr. Howard.
Yeah.
That's all?
Thank you.
It was not. Was it $100?
It was $100.
That man, they have
Really? I've
$100,
never
Judge.
seen him do one that low.
Not me neither.
Howard, let me finish, please. Next, position number 4 was released. Position number 5, I guess we can go to that, Your Honor. That's Mr. Robert Lee, but he waived his appearance.
Oh, waiver.
Yep,
Oh, and then that's it. Your courtroom is clear.
pretty much. Position number 8, that's gonna be another MH reset. We tried,
Okay.
not cooperating.
Okay.
Position number 10 was accepted to pad, Mr. Daquan Moss.
Okay. I see Pat was on the. Oh, there they go. Pat is still there. So that's number 10's going to Pat. Okay.
Number 11, that's another purge.
Do you know the amount?
I don't know the amount, Mr. Howard. Huh? It's $264, Mr. Howard.
You need to let somebody else do these announcements.
Uh, see how your
I-
coworkers do you? And where did they get
I-
these low purges from?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm
Your Honor,
sorry. Yes.
I
Go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Frederick Alexander, you released to pad yesterday. But according to records, he was supposed to go back to court in your courtroom again today. They did not have his bond when my team went to go pick him up.
Oh. Did I do that? What was that?
Nah,
No.
yeah, Judge Williams, that's all right.
Yeah, Judge Williams was yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll get on
Miss
her for that. No, I'm
Atai?
kidding.
Yes,
Okay, that was sent over. Was that the case that you had yesterday?
yes, Ms. Houston is saying that they did not get the transfer order for it.
Transfer order.
But I saw the bond.
Yeah, for pad, we didn't receive the pad, paper saying it was a UJR and they should be released to pad. I didn't receive the order.
So you didn't get the bond order?
No.
I can show it to you right now. I can do some.
Yeah, because I know it was sent over and I sent Miss Atai a copy of it, so.
Yes, yes, we have it and yeah.
Yeah, we went to pick him up today and they wouldn't release.
Yes.
Honor, while they looking for the paperwork to get that straight, can we finish going through my announcements?
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
Officer Norris.
Yes, sir.
Got them announcements.
Yeah, position number 14 was also purged. I do not know the amount, Mr. Howard,
Okay.
and that should be it. Did I miss anyone?
Well, I need to put something on my paperwork as far as an amount on.
14.
Or 14?
We can't look it up.
14 is $264 and
260.
11 is $521.
Okay, 11 is 521,
11
Wow.
is 521.
yes. And 14 is 264.
No wonder they got it. That must just be one monthly amount.
And are you?
Miss Atai, would you like for me to send you another copy of that along with sending Miss,
If you.
I don't want to mess up your last name, the young lady to pad a copy of that order?
Umberger.
I think.
Hamburger. Hamburger. Okay, I didn't want to mess your name up. You're fine, thank you. Okay, but it was sent over.
Miss Houston.
Yeah, we have a copy of it. But they didn't have a copy.
Records doesn't have it. Miss Houston, what is your?
It was sent over with the paperwork from yesterday. So I don't know where the mix-up is.
She's.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I'm going through the email she sent yesterday and.
Okay, I'm good. I just need to find it. I did wanna,
She said transfer order. She didn't mean doing anything extra special. We just put on there that he's to be released to pad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Norris, didn't we have Robert Lee yesterday?
That
Number
name sounds familiar, as if we did.
The name does sound familiar. I'm not sure because I didn't do the calendar, Mr. Howard.
Oh, okay. I remember calling out this history. That's why.
Yeah, I remember doing something with the Robert Lee.
I think he has another case. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know if it was this case or the other case, but I did see a second open case. So it may have been his other one.
Oh,
I'm looking at the pull sheet from yesterday, and there's a Frederick Lee. I don't
Who is
see.
this?
I don't see a Robert Lee.
brother.
Oh, okay.
The same.
Mr. Howard, it's Robert Lee, not Frederick Lee.
Popped up.
and
So since we're on Mr. Robert Lee, what are we doing with that one?
It's just a waiver. I don't know. who-
Okay, I received that waiver, yes.
Oh,
Judge, I'm
okay.
gonna defer to the state for the history.
Yes, he has 9 arrests, conviction in 2023 for simple assault and obstruction. 2022, he has an FTA. The rest I felt were not violent or relevant. The state would recommend a $2,000 SOB through pretrial with a stay away from Real Tacos at 106th Street, Atlanta. The facts of this theft of service are that he ate food totaling $13, but by the end of the meal, he said, "I'm not going to pay," and he just ran, bolted out of there. He did leave his backpack, and that's how they were able to identify him.
Wow. All right. PD Atai, any objection to a
Well, I would.
1,000 SOB?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, I know there are issues with the paperwork, but his booking sheets shows that he was arrested on, booked in on January 18th. So I would say it's a Riverside issue and ask for a signature bond through the jail. He's been here for 20.
January 18th?
I mean, the booking sheet shows January 18th, booking.
For Robert Lee?
Yes.
Oh, it says on here the offense date is December 6th.
Yes, the incident date is, yes, December 6th.
And then in
2020.
January, he must have been in on something else.
But I mean, still, he's been here for 21 days. And if he was here for anything else, it would have been a criminal trespass. And I think the incident date on that is even before. I mean, with the incident date being December 6th, if he was here since January 18th, it's been 21 days. He's been here too long to not know, until now, what he's here for or what he could be here for. And I would ask for a signature bond through the jail because of that.
State, do you have any other information on him?
I would just note that there's some sort of note on the booking sheet that says reset. Looks like from something.
Well, it looks like it's his other case that was reset.
And that was a criminal trespass.
Yes. So I just have the information on that case. I don't have any additional information, we don't have our booking screens and stuff.
That the other charge, that this theft of service that happened December 6th, I would think could have been taken care of at the same time as the other charge. But, it's just like, it can't be like a merry-go-round here.
Well, this warrant was only signed on January 24th. So it was signed apparently after the fact, after he was booked in.
Your Honor, in my opinion, it's a Riverside issue and he's entitled to a signature bond through the jail.
All right. $2,000 SOB jail. Looks like he needs to stay away from Rio Tacos. No
Yes,
further
Judge.
contact, I guess, with the victims there, or just stay away. That'll get it. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And if I may, can we revisit position 3, Michael Jackson? I don't know that he'll be able to have his parents sign. I guess the family violence order is with his parents. So they won't be able to sign, and I won't.
What did you say about the family violence? Something I didn't quite hear that part.
I think, he is 19, and so I feel like his history comes stems from interactions in his household with his parents. I didn't know about that. But I try to get in contact with them, and I do think that maybe he has to stay away or TPOs with his parents. So, and that's probably why he's homeless. So they won't be able to be the co-signer for his bond. And I would ask that to just remove the co-signer requirement. He obviously doesn't have a good home situation. He's homeless. I understand there's some history, but I think he can handle a signature on bond through pretrial services level 3.
I
And
don't know about that now. I mean, he got 8 arrests and he 18, Judge, so.
Yeah, I am the more we talk about it, the more concerned I'm becoming on him.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but is it possible maybe linking him to a case manager with Pat and like trying to, I don't know, mentor or maybe just give him that extra support?
What do you think, Mr. Ty?
yes, and I can connect him with Pat for those services.
What's the state say, ASG Tucker?
I initially asked for a good bond. I would, ask for that. I think the risk of flight is high considering he is homeless. I think the risk of reoffense is high considering the history. And I think, the risk of hurting this victim. I mean, he's got a simple battery family violence that was null pros, so I didn't bring it up earlier, but that's from 2022. He's got the violation of the family violence order from 23, and a fray from 2022. So just the violence is there, the history is there. I think this is a good case for a good bond, not a signature bond.
And actually, now that you mention it, I was told that I can't take any family violence now that I'm thinking of it.
Okay, Your Honor, but
Sorry.
I will say that the 2022 affray he was in high school at the time, and it was a large, a fight at the high school. So I don't know. I don't.
That doesn't make me any happier because you see that on TV. They're going crazy at high school. Glad I don't have a kid in high school these days. They just seems to be pretty dangerous in the fighting. And if he was involved in that, it just tells me he's got some issues here that need to be addressed.
But Your Honor, I will say that he did have a housing assessment today. He is missing class today because he is going after his GED. He has his MH medications. And I feel that he's on a path to get his life together, and I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, level 3. And he's totally fine with the stay away and no further contact. I don't believe he's a danger.
Well, they have 3 kids together, didn't you say?
They don't have any children together.
Oh, that's right. We corrected it. They're not his children. Well, what I'll do is I'll make it a surety bond. Not going to give him a signature bond through pretrial there. Not taking him. I'm going to make it a surety bond, and I will reduce it to 2,500. So 2,500 surety bond. Is Deputy Norris still there?
I'm right here. What was it, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm changing it 2,500 surety
Okay,
on position 3, Key Michael,
got it.
and all the other conditions can remain. Who else do we have?
That should be it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Is that it, Mr. Howard?
If Nora said that's it, that's it.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, I'll give you a little credit.
thank you, Mr. Howard. Appreciate
No
it.
problem. Holly?
Okay. I'll go through the calendar, but then we need to address the pad situation from yesterday, okay?
Okay.
So to today's calendar, the reset date is February the 21st. Position number 1 is a $100 purge. Position number 2 is reset further notice with a $1,500 SOB through the jail. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. 4 is reset further notice as the defendant has been released. 5 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 6, reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through the jail. 7 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Position number 8 is reset till tomorrow. 9 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. Position 10, I'll come back to that one. Or can someone chime in on that one?
Just a pad. We
Pad
didn't.
down, that's all I put.
That's
Okay,
all I put too.
so I need something for the judge to sign to send us to Pat, okay? PDs. Okay, 11 is gonna be a $521 purge. 10 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,500 good bond. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 good bond. And position 14 is a $264 purge. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
And when you do those, I guess when you say a purge, it's just a paid purge.
Yeah, that's what I'm marking on my calendar, the amount.
Okay.
And I assume with these purges, they'll stay in and go to the SAP calendar just in case they don't make that purge. Am I correct?
Oh, I think it's already been
They already
paid.
made it if they're not in
Yeah,
court.
they already made it. So it doesn't
Okay,
go
they've
to
already
already
made,
paid.
okay, no problem then.
right.
So, PDs, will you all get me that information for position number 10? And back to Ms. Umberger. You're saying that you all don't have that order from yesterday, or there was a problem
No.
at the jail?
No, we do have the order, but when we called to the jail and said we're on our way, the team was on their way to pick Mr. Alexander up. They said we do not have a bond order. So then I called records and records said, oh, no, he's going back to court today.
Not right.
It was sent separately. Miss Hoda Ate, where is she? Because she has a copy of it. There she is. Miss Ate?
Yes. So Jay was able to show it to the lady from records here, Miss Houston.
Yes.
So they have it. And I went to the bonding desk earlier today and showed it to them. And they, I don't know.
And also, Miss Houston.
Well, they need to tell us what's wrong with it. I mean, does it,
I
it
don't-
says on there goes to Pat, right? Does it say it on there?
Yes.
That he's
Release the
released?
pad.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nothing different than what we've done before, right?
I don't understand where the court thing come in, where they even got that, because they were like, no, he's going back to court today.
Hmm.
Don't even know. So can we do this here to clear everything up? Can you all do another one? So I
Yes.
could send the paperwork over so that he could be released in the morning? Will that help it?
I'll do
We'll
another,
pick him up with Mr. Moss.
There you go.
okay, I'll do another one for today.
Okay,
Okay.
great. All right,
Okay.
thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
sign that.
I have one more thing I need to address.
Okay.
One, Richards and Charmaine Hill have both completed their intake, and I'm waiting on confirmation from the solicitor that their cases have been however you dispose of them, or no process. I'm not sure what the deed.
And who did you send the email to?
I know I sent the Juan Richards to you, but
Okay.
I also need for Charmaine.
Okay, I think Supervisor Walker will be addressing that. And so I'll get with him and he'll take care of that or address that.
I'm sure he will. Anything else? Sergeant Norris, while you're doing cleaning up and straightening up, anything else?
I'm just getting exercise, walking back and forth.
Oh, that's what you do? I thought you were just doing housekeeping.
I usually do, but I'm just doing the exercise part now. Okay, Mr.
Let's see if your supervisor, Mr. Howard, is allowing you to sign off.
Mr.
Well, I
Howard,
hope all of us can sign off, can we? We done, right?
I
I
believe.
think so. Oh, I see
We'll
a
do it
bond
again
order
tomorrow.
through, Miss Holly.
Okay,
All right, everybody, have a good one. See you next time.
okay, Judge, as soon as I get these pad orders, I'll be sending stuff to you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
bye-bye.